A major shakeup in the U.S. president's inner circle, with Donald Trump removing Kristi Noem as Secretary of Homeland Security. Noem oversaw the administration's crackdown on immigration, and she recently faced days of grilling from congressional lawmakers over the department's handling of the file, including the deaths of 2 U.S. citizens killed at the hands of federal agents in Minnesota earlier this year. Trump says Noem will now serve as Special Envoy for what is known as the Shield of the Americas. This is being described as a new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere. Meanwhile, the president has nominated Republican Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin to take over as Secretary of Homeland Security.
Listen, I am super excited about this opportunity. It came at not a complete surprise, but it came at a little bit of surprise for us. And so the president and I, as you guys know, we're great friends and we get along great. I look forward to working with him and his cabinet. Of course, we still got to go through this little thing called confirmation. And we're going to get started on it right away. Kristi is a friend, and I haven't had time to call Kristi yet, and our Secretary Noem, and our families are friends. She was tasked to do a very difficult job, and I think she has performed the best she can do underneath the circumstances. Is there always lessons that can be learned? You know, listen, my wife and I, over the years, we have been fortunate enough to purchase companies and grow our companies, and every day there's something you can do better. And so I think there's an opportunity to build off successes, and there's also opportunities to build off things that maybe didn't go quite as planned.
Kristi Noem is gone. Good riddance. She was a disaster, and House Democrats made something very clear. Several weeks ago, we said either Kristi Noem is fired or she's going to be impeached.
Good riddance. But the problems at this agency, at ICE, transcend any one person. The rot is deep. The president has to end the violence and rein in ICE.
Well, I think the president basically had no choice after all the revelations of the toleration of authoritarianism and authoritarian violence, political corruption, and all of the lying that the Department of Homeland Security has been doing in court, with dozens of judges reprimanding and admonishing them for lying in court. So I think that this was inevitable.
This agency's out of control. I am so happy that one of the worst administrative leaders I've ever seen is gone. But the agency itself is still reckless and out of control, and we should not be funding it until these issues are addressed.
On that note, would you vote to support Markwayne Mullin, your colleague, for this
Look,
position?
I've known Markwayne now for a good amount of time. It is not about the head of this agency. It is about what the agency is doing in our communities.
The president, when he called me Tuesday night, the night of the hearing, when he was mad as a murder hornet, he asked me what I thought about Markwayne, and I said, A, I like him. B, he's very smart. C, he's a very good businessman. And D, if I didn't believe the 3 things I just told you, I'd lie to you, because Markwayne would whip my